Yeah, really exciting for them as well, isn't it? Now, a blue plaque is being unveiled in Bristol this lunchtime for the late Eddie Cochran, where he played his final show. The singer died in a car crash playing at the Hippodrome in 1960. Liz Beacon reports.
Well, it's getting quite busy here at the Bristol Hippodrome this lunchtime. You might be able to see behind me a blue plaque that is about to be unveiled very shortly. Lots of people here this lunchtime, including Mike Reed. Now, Mike, we know you as a broadcaster. You're here in a different context today. This memorial to Eddie Cochran. Just tell us how this came about.
Yeah, well, I'm, for my sins, one of my hats I wear as chairman of the British Plant Trust. We do blue plants all over the country and the Commonwealth as well. This came about, they were doing a documentary on Eddie, and we had a day at Joe Brown's house. It was Marty Wilde, Joe, myself, Bob Harris, and they were interviewing all of us, and we sat around playing some songs, and they said, this is going to be great in the documentary. And I said to Peter Bradley of the Buddy Holly Foundation, I said, you know what? I said, what would be a great denouement for the end of the show? It's a plaque. I said, there are memorials where he crashed, but that's not a celebratory thing, that's a marker to remember. But I said, you know, a blue plaque at the Hippodrome in Bristol. Everyone went, what a great idea. He was only 21, Eddie Cochran. We forget that. Buddy Holly was 22. They were boys. And the legacy they left is just fantastic.
Leon, coming over to you, as Mike says, an absolute icon. We can see it on your T-shirt. For you, Eddie lives on, doesn't he?
Yeah. I was never around when he was born, but we carry on. I mean, there's still plenty of young fans out there, still love his music, still want to hear what's going on. I'm part of the Eddie Cochran Memorial Project, so we're the ones that got the dedication up at Chippenham, and we regularly hold Eddie Cochran all dayers and things, and just raise money for things like this, which are happening today, which we were glad to be involved in.
As you've both said, taken far too soon. There'll be lots more memories that we can bring you on tonight's Points West.
His biggest rock and roll stars played his last gig in Bristol before being killed sadly in a road accident on his way home. Today fans of all ages turned up outside the city's Hippodrome Theatre to see the unveiling of a blue plaque to remember Eddie Cochran. Here's Liz Beacon.
The Bristol Hippodrome was where Eddie Cochran played his very final gig. He'd been resident here for a week back in 1960 and was heading to Heathrow when he was killed in a car crash. 63 years on, there's now a blue plaque to acknowledge his legacy.
He was only 21, Eddie Cochran. When you think about it, that, you know, there might not have been a Beatles without Eddie Cochran, because Paul sang 20 Flight Rock to John Lennon and he said, you're in. You know, if that hadn't happened, if he hadn't had an Eddie Cochran song in his pocket, there might not have been a Beatles. It's amazing.
At today's unveiling were Eddie fans of varying ages. The Hippodrome at the same time, but drove to London a different way.
We went through Bath on the A4, so we missed the accident. And in those days, the news didn't travel so fast, certainly not on a Sunday. So it was Easter Monday when we actually really hit it. And it was a terrible shock, because he was an extremely talented guy.
Over the years, Eddie has been remembered in Chippenham. Everyone here today agreed that the Hippodrome should also reflect what happened.
We've been wanting to get this here for years. Finally we got something here to market, because I mean, Eddie Cochran was such an influence on other people in music, as you heard from the other guys there. Just glad to have it here at last.
Eddie Cochran was just 21 when he died, but from those here today, you get a real sense that the legacy from such a short life will definitely live on. Liz Beacon, BBC Points West, Bristol.